Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. It's another Thursday, and we're coming to you live from New York City. That's where we originate. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning in London at 1 a.m. and also Friday morning in Tokyo, Japan at 9 a.m. And they're having breakfast and they're getting ready to start their day. How are you? How's everything going? My name is Frank Allan. Here we are, another Thursday. And of course, we're here together as we are each week. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. Oh yeah, Talk Back Live. That's what we do. We talk back live. And for those of you who are joining us for the first time, let me tell you how we operate. As we talk back live, what we do is I get the show started and get conversation going, get a spin on the show, and make sure everything is in gear. You can, at the same time, chime in and talk back to me while I'm talking to you. You do that right there electronically. All you have to do is use your keyboard, type it in from your computer, your telephone, or even your pad. Right there. All you have to do is do that, or wherever you can pick up this show electronically, and then I will see you right there up on the big screen. And of course, I will, acknowledge you and entertain all of your thoughts and ideas. And if you have anything to say in particular, you want to throw out a particular topic of your own as we progress into the show, you want to talk about anything in particular, just throw it out there and we'll get things rolling. And that goes for everyone. Now, those of you who are joining for the first time also know that we're coming from 3 different places. We're live on Facebook, we're on YouTube, also live on Instagram, and I see people are coming in right now, so I just want to say hi to them. Everyone doesn't, of course, enjoy in conversation. They want to sit idly, and that's okay, but as long as you're there, we're going to be here for the whole hour. We trust that you will be here too, and if you can't spend a whole hour with us, whatever time you could spend with us would be appreciative, but I hope the case is that you're able to hang out with us for the whole entire hour. Thank you so much for being along with us, and we've got so much to talk about today. We're going to indulge you, as we interact with you personally. We also like to tell you that we have a protocol of the show. We do things on the norm, and our norm is that first off, and not too long from now, within this half hour, we're going to talk to Brian Camp. Brian Camp is our sports guy. He's going to come in and bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports on his show called Sports Update. And of course, we'll talk about a lot of things that's happening on the sports circuit. And if you have any questions to relate to Brian, he will be here. Those of you who are watching us on Facebook and YouTube, well, let me tell you, you could see him. You'll get a chance to meet him. He'll be right here. You'll see him right on the screen. And you could still type in and talk to him as we talk to you. And if you have any sports questions, he will answer that. For those of you who are watching us on Instagram, unfortunately, we won't have that. However, you can still hear him. And you could still type in and ask questions too. However, I will see your questions and I will relay your questions to him. Is that fair enough? But for the rest of you, you will get a chance to see him. He'll be right here. And we're going to link up with him because he's coming from another city. He's out in Charlotte, North Carolina. So from New York to Charlotte, that's where we're going to hook up and talk to everyone. Now, those of you, again, who are watching us on Facebook, we invite you at this particular time, while the show is young, while we're getting started, to invite all your friends. You can do that by tagging them. You can tag this show to your friends right now as we speak. Now, I know you have a lot of friends. You may not want to tune into bring them all in, because I know you have thousands and thousands of friends and you can't bring them all in. Maybe select a few or as many as you want. It doesn't matter. If you have time to do 1,000, that's up to you. But just bring in a few friends, right? Just tag the show to them. And if they get a chance to come in and they see us for the first time, if they like what they hear, like what they see, possibly they'll be like you. They'll come in on a regular basis. And of course, we'll always be glad to have them, because remember, just because you're new, that doesn't mean you're not as important as the next person that's been here for a long time. You're all important, and that's important to us that it's important to you. Okay, everything is important. All right, so we want to make sure that you're out there and you get the comforts of watching this show. Now, those of you who are watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to click on to YouTube if you're there right now. Take the opportunity right now to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's all you have to do. You'll see that icon right there, and you can take your little mouse and put the key right there, key it right onto that place where it says subscribe, right? And just click it. That's all you have to do. Just click it, subscribe and click it. And that's all you have to do. And once you get that going, you're in. Now, there's no charge for the subscription. It's free of charge. Anyone could subscribe and anyone can be part of us. Now, the benefit of subscribing to our Facebook page and subscribing, should I say, our YouTube channel, is that once you are subscribed, you get notifications anytime you're online. And let's say, for instance, you forget about what time the show comes on. Well, if you're online, the notification will pop right up there reminding you that we're on the air, and you can click right onto it and it will bring you right to us. And even if we so much as post a video of some sort, you get notifications. So that's the idea of doing that. And a lot of people subscribe, and I'm glad that they do, and tell your friends and family about it. Now, for the rest of you guys are watching us on Instagram. All you have to do is just continue to follow us. Just continue to follow us. Keep the word percolating and let everyone know, your family and friends and anyone that you see on the street, right? Let them know that we're out here and have them become part of us too. We already talked about sports, right? Sports is coming up pretty soon. And also later on in the program, I have what we call This Day in History. I want to recite all of those things for you coming up on this day in history. And we're going to be talking about a lot of things. Now, whatever happened on this day in history, we have that information for you. We're going to recite all of that coming up later on in the program. And also, as usual, I will bring you some of the movies that I picked out this week from Turner Classic Movies that you can possibly use to watch over the weekend. You know, my picks of the week for your weekend. A lot of people like to do a lot of things on a weekend. And one of the things that some people like to do is catch up on some old movies. Some people are movie buffs. And if you like those Turner Classic Movies, I have my picks of the week for you to watch. And just want to add to your bucket list of what to watch. So all of that is coming up. All of that will be here. And of course, you and I, all of us against the world. Thank you so much again for being along with us right here on Talk Back Live. And remember that all of the view and the opinions expressed on this show, Talk Back Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Zoom, or any kind of broadcast publication or social media. Got that cleared out of the way. So there we go. We're all right here. And of course, thanking you once again. Again, tell your friends about us. Bring them all in. We are in the midst. Here is the first day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first day. I have to mention this again, and being that this is the first day, this is the first day of the LGBTQ plus Pride Month. So we want to uphold our brothers and sisters in the community and let them know that we're for them and that we recognize them as, and we love them as God loved them as well. So that's what it is this week. This is the first day, June 1st. Here we are, June 1st, the very first day of the month. And it's the first day of the LGBTQ plus. And that's for Pride Month, all this month. So there's going to be a lot of activities going on for that. And listen, did you hear? I read something earlier. And you know something, it really shocked me that when I heard about that. I read it in just a couple of days ago. Maybe it was just yesterday when I found out about it. Actor Al Pacino, you know, he's famous for his role in The Godfather. Well, Al Pacino, 83 years old. He's 83 years old. Guess what? Al Pacino is expecting a baby girl. Well, we don't know about that. I just must have read that wrong. But he's expecting a baby with his girlfriend of 29 years old. Now, Al Pacino have never been married, never had any children up until now. And this is only his girlfriend. Al Pacino, 83 years old, is expecting a baby with his girlfriend of 29 years That's the information I got. I can't say that as gospel. I don't know how true that is. At 83 years old, wow. Well, I didn't even know he had it in him. 83 years old. I don't know. I don't know. I want to get deep into that situation to find out more. 83 years old and he's expecting a baby. Well, listen, you know what? Before the late Tony Randall died, he had his first kid at the age of 77 years old. So, and if this is true, well, this breaks the record. Or does it? I don't know. How many people that you know at that particular age, or maybe just a wee bit younger, had their first kid, or maybe their third kid, or anything? Anyway, the young lady is 29 years old. He's 83. Okay, we'll leave it at that. And if it's true, we want to say congratulations to Al Pacino. Attica. No, Al Pacino, if that's true, I'd like to congratulate. Now, like I said, Al Pacino have never been married, never desired to be married, and never had children. And if this story is true, then this is going to be his first. We don't know the name of the young lady's name of 29 years. We don't know who she is. It just says Al Pacino expecting a baby with girlfriend 29. I hope this information is true, and I'm not giving any false information here, but this is what I found. I actually read this, and not that I believe everything that I read, but I just had to share that with you. And I didn't get any more information about that yet, but if you know of any more information, and maybe we can look it up and find out later, look it up, Google it and look it up and see if you found out any more about that. But that's where it is right now. This is exactly where it is. Okay, congratulations. Former First Lady, Rosalynn Carter. You probably heard the news, maybe you didn't, I don't know, it didn't circulate too much, but it's been on the news early. I found out a couple of days ago, former First Lady Rosalynn Carter was diagnosed with dementia. Did you hear about that? And so the former First Lady she's 95 years old. Now, just about months, I guess, a few months ago, Jimmy Carter, the former president, is her husband, checked himself into a hospice program. And I believe he's like 97 years old, something like that, 97. Yeah, I think he's around 97 years old. She's 95. So we want to send out thoughts and prayers out to Rosalynn Carter. Rosalynn Carter was the most likable first lady when Jimmy Carter was president. You had a lot of great, nice ladies as there, but let's keep our thoughts and prayers for her, and hopefully, she'll get through this and we'll find out more. And if we find out more about this information, we'll certainly bring it along to you. As you already know, this week was a banner week for Taylor Swift. Are you a Swiftie or a Swifter? Well, that's what they call, that's the nickname. Taylor Swift. She was in New York. She played at the MetLife Stadium, and she's touring. She's got a tour going on, and she's touring all over the country. She's hitting New York, and she's going other places. But she sold out every place, every venue, and people were buying tickets. Tickets were up to I guess up to $920. Now, I guess the kids didn't mind because kids were all around the block, and the young kids like her. She's a phenomenon. And she's touring all over the country, all over the world. And I got to tell you something about Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift is a lucky woman because in this day and age in the music industry, it is hard to reach the status that she's in. It's very hard. It's rare. And because it's rare, because of the music wasn't like it was in the past. It wasn't like it was in the past. The industry wasn't like it was in the past. And it's getting more difficult because I'll put it to you this way. When it came to music, to me, when the 80s came in, that's when I thought the music industry just took a plunge. That's only my opinion. And you can't argue with the young kids of today, and they may differ from that, but they weren't back there with us. So this is what they have today. And because of that, and because of the music being the way it is today, it's very difficult for a music artist to make a status such as Taylor Swift. But I want to congratulate Taylor Swift, and I hope that she succeeds in this. I don't know how long she's going to put up with this. It's a long and wind. It's going to be a long and winding road for her because of her popularity, and people are buying her brand, and people are going to her concerts, and she's selling them all out. She's selling all of her concerts out. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. So Taylor Swift, congratulations. And I understand a few people that I know personally said that they took their children to see the show, and they loved it. So I guess they didn't mind paying the prices to see that show. But congratulations. Okay, shall we do it? Yes, we will. We're going to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina right now because Brian Camp is here with us, and he's got the latest developments in today's world of sports. I don't know, Brian, if he's a singer or not, if he wants to sing and make the status of Taylor Swift, or just stay doing what he's doing.
Stay what I'm just doing. I don't know if that's true about Al Pacino having becoming a father. I didn't know he didn't even have any kids, but I do know that Robert De Niro just became a father at 79 years old. This is his seventh child.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? The two icon modern day gangster that played in movies in this era just became fathers, if it's true that Al Pacino. And it's amazing how De Niro and Pacino, they both played in The Godfather, but they never played together on The Godfather, in The Godfather 2. The Godfather 2, if you remember, was a prelude to Godfather 1. Mm-hmm. Is Vito Corleone as a youngster. But they didn't play together until later on in life when they played in the movie Heat. Mm-hmm. And but it's amazing how these two icons, I always compare them, Pacino and De Niro, to Cagney and Bogart and Edward G. Robinson. Those are the real gangsters. Those are the gangsters back in the 20s and 30s, in film, that is, Mm-hmm. But yeah, De Niro became a father not too long ago at 79. Pacino, wow, if it's true, this first child at the age of 80. Wow.
I don't know how true it is. I mean, I would like to think it's true because this is a new life for him. He never desired to get married or have children. He never desired that. But if this is true, congratulations, all the best.
Yeah, I wish him the best.
I mentioned earlier, Tony Randall had his first child at 77 years old.
Yeah, if you go back into the biblical days in the Bible, men was having babies in their 100s and beyond, in their 90s and so on, and the women too, but that was back then where they had to multiply the earth. Yeah.
Well, something, I don't know where the stamina comes from, but power to you.
More power to you. It is 79 degrees out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It is partly cloudy. It's been a beautiful day. The sun was out. I've been cleaning my smokers all day after last week, cooking for like 3 days, 4 days, but I was all day today just cleaning and enjoying the weather in the backyard, and I'm getting ready to wind down. So to watch this game 1 of the NBA championship game. That's right. Game 1 starts tonight around 8:30, 9 o'clock on ABC. So make sure you watch the game after this show is over, of course, So, we want to make sure we keep our ratings going on. So we just have to watch this first. I'm not going to tell you the score because you're going to run to it. No, don't touch that dial. Keep it right there. So, and game 1 between the Miami Heat against the Denver Nuggets. Also in the NBA, the NBA has opened an investigation into longtime referee Eric Lewis involving a Twitter account that responded to numerous posts on league officiating and defended Lewis and other NBA referees. Now, as a potential issue is a league rule against referees commenting on officiating publicly without authorization. If it can be proved Lewis was making such statements, he could face disciplinary actions. Lewis is in his 19th season as a referee, has officiated more than 1,100 games, 82 playoff games. He has been one of the NBA's highest rated officials. So we don't know that's true, but they do an investigation. He's a very good official, by the way. In the NCAA, since we was talking about Pride Month, yes, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey on Tuesday signed a legislation that will ban transgender women from playing on female sports teams in college, becoming the latest state to place restrictions on transgender athletes. Now get this, the legislation expands the state's existence since 2021 ban on transgender athletes from kindergarten to 12th grade sports teams to include college teams. Students assigned on one sex at birth. That means if you born a female at birth, you cannot cross over to the other side and vice versa. It prohibits from playing under different gender identity, even after undergoing a hormone shot treatment. So yes, so that's where we are in this country now. Men wants to play with, who is becoming transgender, wants to play in a women's sport. If you're born a male, this is my opinion, if you're born a male and you want to become a transgender, that's on you. But you have to play in a men's sport. You cannot cross over to a woman's, because a man is built differently from a woman, regardless of what kind of hormone shots that you take. And that's what a lot of the sports shows, and that's what I say too. If you're born a man, you should be playing in men's sport. Now, back in the 70s, remember Renee Richards was playing, who had a sex change, was playing on the women's tour. All of that has just changed now. Dr. Renee Richards was a female who was once a man, became a female, but was allowed to play on the women's circuit on women's tennis. So that's where we are right now. This day in sports, June 1st, Boston Braves first baseman Hank Gowdy is the first active Major League Baseball player to enlist into the service, and the first ever and only to serve in World War I and World War II. It's amazing. Now, Ted Williams, the late Ted Williams, enlisted in World War II and in the Korean War. So, Hank Gowdy served in World War I and World War II. That was in 1917. He first enlisted in World War I. 1970, Major League Baseball Commissioner Bowie Kuhn reprimands Houston Astro pitcher Jim Bouton for writing the book All Four. Most of us have remembered that Jim Bouton was a Yankee pitcher who wrote the book. 1980, first baseman Steve Garvey hits the 7,000 Brooklyn/LA Dodgers home run. That was in 1980, 7,000 home runs during that time. 1987, Phil Niekro beats the Tigers 9-6 for his 314th win and combines his brother Joe Niekro for the most combined wins of a sibling of 530 career wins by two siblings who pitched in the major leagues. Weddings. On this day, Mike Tyson and Robin Givens granted their final divorce in New Jersey. Weddings and divorces, I should put that under, yes. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a nice, beautiful day here in the Queen City.
Brian, did you hear that story? It dropped yesterday about this this baseball team. This is out in our area. This baseball team, there was some teenage kid caught a baseball and one of the adult coaches went over there trying to get the baseball from her and beat the boy up over a baseball. Did you hear that story?
I did not hear that story. This was in New York.
Yeah, this was in New York. So I figure a story like that would spread just to show how ignorant some people could be. But it was I think the kid was like 17, 18 years old, still considered a minor, and some old adult wants to beat him up over a baseball. They even show the footage.
My goodness. No, I didn't see that. If you get a chance, send that to me. Oh, my goodness.
It's on YouTube, and if I find it, I'll send it to you. But it was terrible. I saw that footage. It was terrible. Over a baseball.
A baseball. Give me a break. Oh, geez.
I can't believe it. I've seen some of these videos, like these Major League Baseball teams, some of the videos that came and they had people who made catches and catch the baseball, and they'd be rooting for each other or whatever. And I saw this one video where this kid was reaching out to catch the ball, and an adult jumped up in front of him and took the ball from him.
Oh boy. Usually what they do today, somebody catches the ball and they give it to the kid. To the kid. Yeah. I mean, you at that point in your life, you don't need a baseball.
You don't need,
come on.
I would have done that if the ball came directly to me and I saw the nearest kid that was next to me, I would have took it right to him.
Exactly. That's what I would have done too. Exactly.
That's a kid. We had our day as a kid. So if we caught ball,
right.
That was like an event. That was something to be happy about. But a kid, that you know what that does to a kid, man, when they go to a baseball game and they witness all of those things, and they witness somebody catching balls, and even though they may not be strong enough to jump high to catch one, someone adult catches it and gives it to them. That does wonders for a kid.
It's a souvenir, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what did they do to the guy? Did they throw him out the game?
They suspended him from the baseball team. This is like a kid's baseball kid. He's a coach. They suspended him for, I think, 10 weeks or something.
That's all? That's a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. I think it was 10.
They should suspended him for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's
not that serious. Gosh, take a Major League Baseball away from a kid. Wow, unbelievable.
I was thinking to myself, maybe that was the only ball they had. But then, baseball team, even kid baseball teams, they have lots of balls because people, when the kids hit foul balls and they go into the stand, those people in there, they keep those balls. They're not going to go in the stand. They're not going to go in the stand and take the ball back from them.
Exactly. Unbelievable.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was angry. I said, if I were there, I would like to take that guy's head and just squeeze. That was terrible. Anyway, hey, listen, I hope you get that situation with your smokers done. Is it done now, or it's all cleaned up?
Oh yeah, it's finished. I just got to clean up after me. I just got to wash it down, the mats and stuff like that. But
yeah,
I got to keep them working because you never know. Duty may be called on me to, to cook something at the last second. So
yeah,
got to keep them ready and clean.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll catch you back here tomorrow at
same time. Yes, tomorrow regular time. Yes. Okay,
then I guess we'll see you then. Until then, have yourself a great night and enjoy the game.
Take care.
Okay, take care. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That was Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Of course, he will be back here tomorrow too. He'll be back here tomorrow for sports at 20 after the hour, and he'll give you what he gave you tonight, and possibly a little more. I guess he'll inform us of the game that's going to happen tonight. So, but he's going to be around here tomorrow, so we'll get a chance to see him then. We're so glad to have you aboard with us, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for that. My name is Frank Allen, and the name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we do that live. And if you care to indulge in conversation, we invite you to do that. All you have to do is just use your keyboard on your computer on your cell phone, and even on your tablet, or any kind of device that allows you to get this show. And of course, we'll see you right there on the big screen, and we'll acknowledge you too. A lot of you tend to want to just lay back and just watch the show and not be participants. And that's okay too. We invite you to do that. So stay with us. We got more time to go. We've got a half hour in the program. We got another 30 minutes in the program to go. So with that in mind, all of you, I urge you, with that little time that we have right now, that half hour time, all of you who are watching us on Facebook, take the opportunity right now to tag all of your friends, maybe not all of them, but some of your friends, and bring them out here to us. And they see that notification and they'll know it's from you, and they'll click onto that notification, and it automatically brings them right here to us, and they'll see us, they'll see you. And again, if they like what they see, if they like what they hear, of course, they can be part of us each week, just like you. I guess it's that time, folks, right? This day in history. Let's get started. On this day in history, 1945, WLBAM in Minneapolis, Minnesota, changes their call letters to KUOM. On this day in history, in 1949, KSL TV, Channel 5 in Salt Lake City, Utah, as a CBS station, they began their broadcasting. On this day in history, in 1958, Charles de Gaulle was elected Premier of France. Back in 1964, the Rolling Stones arrived in New York City at the Kennedy International Airport for their first US tour, and they were greeted by about 500 fans. On this day in history, back in 1968, Simon and Garfunkel's singer, Mrs. Robinson, which was taken from the movie The Graduate, hit #1, and it was the first rock song to win a Grammy for Record of the Year. Back in 1969, the tobacco advertising was banned in Canadian radio and TV. In 1973, George Harrison's Living in a Material World, that album goes gold. And 2 days after, it goes gold. Two days after it hits the United States. It was released in the United States. There you go. And 1973, Paul McCartney and Wings released their single, Live and Let Die. 1974, My Girl Bill, that was a record done by Jim Stafford. It hits number 12 on the charts. And 1976, Great Britain and Iceland ended the Cold War. In 1979, Los Angeles passes the first gay rights bill. Congratulations. And speaking of the first day of the community, and congratulations to them on that. In 1979, the first Black-led government of Rhodesia in 90 years takes power. In 1980, the first transmission of CNN started. CNN went on the air in 1980. CNN stands for Cable News Network. Back in 1985, Just a Gigolo, I Ain't Got Nobody. That's the name of the song, was done by David Lee Roth, and that hit number 12 on the charts. In 1986, Danielle Steele's romance novel, Wonderlash, is published. In 1988, the Morton Downey Jr. Show. Remember the Morton Downey Jr. Show? Well, that debuted in television syndication. In 1997, the first New York Women Film Festival opens. In 1921, Nelson Riddle, an American Grammy Award-winning band leader and conductor, well, he was born on this day, and he was born in Oradell, New Jersey. He passed away in 1985. In 1926, on this day in history, actor, comedian Andy Griffith was born on this day, and he was born in Erie, North Carolina, and he died 2012. Marilyn Monroe was born on this day in history in 1926 in Los Angeles, California, and she died August 4th, 1962 at the age of only 36 years old from alleged suicide and drug overdose. In 1934, singer Pat Boone was born on this day, and he was born in Jacksonville, Florida. He's 89 years old today, still in the land of the living. Actor Morgan Freeman was born on this day in 1937 in Memphis, Tennessee. He's 86 years old. 1939, actor Cleavon Little, who was known for his role in Blazing Saddle. He was born in Chickasha, Oklahoma, if I'm pronouncing that right, and he passed away in 1992. In 1945, singer Linda Scott, she was known for that big hit back in the 60s. Those of you who may remember her, I've Told Every Little Star. I used to play that a lot on the radio when I was a disc jockey. Anyway, she was born on this day, and she was born in Queens, New York. And she's 78 years old today and still keeping that low profile. I wish she would come out and just say hi. I missed her. In 1948, actor Powers Booth was born in Snyder, Texas, and he died 2017. And if you remember Powers Booth, he played in that movie portraying Reverend Jim Jones. Remember that? There was a two-part movie in Guyana. In 1956, actress, singer Lisa Hartman Black, not only a singer, but she was an actress as well, and she played on Knots Landing years ago. She was born in Houston, Texas. She's 67 years old today. In 1961, comedian, actor Mark Curry, who played in the comic, the sitcom, I would say, sitcom, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, right? He was born on this day, and he was born in Oakland, California. He's 62 today. And model Heidi Klum, who was also married to Seal, right? Singer Seal. And she was born on this day in 1973 in West Germany. She's 50 years old today. Comedian Amy Schumer was born on this day in 1981. She was born in our town here in New York City, and she's 42 years old today. And let's go way back to 1889, architect, and you probably remember the name, Frank Lloyd Wright. He was an architect. He weds socialite Catherine Tubin. And 1896, we're still way back there. Playwright George Bernard Shaw marries Charlotte Frances Payne Townshend, and they got married in Covent Garden, London. In 1925, businessman Howard Hughes marries his first wife, Ella Rice. In 1933, Charlie Chaplin, he was a comedian, Charlie Chaplin, and he weds Paulette Goddard. In 1941, 1941, actress Jean Turney weds fashion designer Oleg Cassini. In 1949, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz, they wed for the second time, because love is always lovely the second time around. In 1963, actor Rod Taylor weds model Mary Hillam, and they got married in Hollywood, California. They got divorced in 1969. In 1985, country singer Merle Haggard weds fourth wife, Debbie Parrott, and they got divorced in 1991. In 1997, country singer Kenny Rogers weds Wanda Miller in Athens, Georgia. And in 2007, Tony Bennett weds his longtime girlfriend, Susan Crowe, in New York City. In 1984, singer Nate Nelson, and he was a member of the Flamingos. That was a doo-wop group back in the days. They had that big hit, I Only Have Eyes for You. Well, he died at the age of 52 years old on that day. In 1991, David Ruffin of the Temptations dies of a drug overdose at the age of 50 years old. In 2008, Yves Saint Laurent. He's a fashion and a French fashion designer. He died at the age of 71 years old. And finally, in 2014, actress Ambi Davis, who played Alice in the Brady Bunch, she was the maid in the Brady Bunch, right? She dies at the age of 88 years old. And that's this day in history. And those of you who know anything about what's happening in this day in history, and I gave that information, but maybe there's something that you know something about, and you want to relay it to us, by all means, let's do that right now. We can do that. And of course, I'll relay it to all of you who are watching with us right now. And then we'll pass it along. So that'll be great, right? If you can do that. And again, you can still talk to us, and I'll see you right there on the big screen. And because I always invite all of you to do that. You know, it's something that I like to do. I like to address you personally. And a lot of people don't. maybe they're camera shy, but you'll never be seen. You'll just be, but maybe you just want to lay back, but that's okay too. But you would say, I like to get in touch with them anyway. All right, well, I can help you with that. You don't have to do that live here. You can get in touch with us at any time you want, because I have two sources for you to do that. I have an email address and a telephone number. Now, I'll give you the email address first. Email address is Frank Allan Prod. Allan is spelled Allan. And I say that, I put emphasis on that because of the fact that if you go another route like EN or IN or something like that, you'll never get through. That's AN, Frank Allan Prod, that's ALLAN, Frank Allan Prod. Prod is spelled PROD, that's short for Productions. Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. That's Frank Allan Prod at AOL.com. Telephone number, of course, why not? 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, you could use those two sources to get in touch with me, and you may do it for any purpose that you want. Let's say, for instance, after we get off the air, and you email me and call and say, hey, I saw the show, but I was staying idle, but I want you to know I love the show, or I didn't love the show. Or maybe you could say, but here's something that you could improve on the show. I like to see this, I like to see that. Maybe you could have a guest or two, or I want to be on your show, I want to be part of your show, or I want to do a show like yours. How can I do that? Hey, listen, just get in touch with me. And if I don't have the answers, I'll find the answers. And you may have questions for Brian, and we can give you that information too, right? And of course, a lot of people may want to, put their little 2 cents and say, hey, something, maybe if you put that on the show, that would be great. I like to see Taylor Swift on the show. Now, I can't promise you that, but I would do my best to try, and I will do my best to do it. The reason why I couldn't promise you that, because the lady is so busy. She's so busy. I don't even know if she does interviews or not. But anyway, I will try. And of course, again, you could use that email address and the telephone numbers for both of those purposes. Let me give you that email address once again. It's frankallanprod at AOL.com. frankallanprod at AOL.com. Telephone number once again is 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day holiday weekend, right? It was a long weekend for you, and the good news too, you've got a short week this time around. It's already Thursday already, right? You got one more day to kick off, and then it's back on the weekend circuit for you. You're looking forward to that, right? And speaking of the weekend, as I told you, not too far away in the show, I am going to give you all those movies that I told you all about. Those are my collections of movies that I think you may like. I do that every week because whatever you do on the weekend is on you. And one of the things that you may do, want to catch up on some movies. Now, I just want to be the one to add movies to your bucket list of what to watch this weekend. And so I have all of that coming up within the show, and that's not too far away before the show is over. And again, I hope you use the holiday, the long holiday, to, even though you did your barbecue. I know there were a lot of people that did that. I'm pretty sure they were. People traveled, and I'm pretty sure, you had your barbecue, but I hope that you, at the same time, also had in the back of your mind that what that meaning of Memorial Day is to salute our military men and women who fought for us, and they went out there on the line to fight for our freedom, and still doing it right now, and I salute you. If no one else salutes you, I do. And you're supposed to do it with the right hand, which I'm doing. But if you're left-handed, whatever, you're just saluting right away. Maybe you want to do it both ways. I don't know. Anyway, to all of you guys, all of you military men and women, we thank you so much. And of course, we don't just thank you just on Memorial Day. We also thank you every day for your services in whatever branch of military that you have been serving. And again, thank you all so much for that. There was one thing I wanted to talk about. Do you know, I don't know if a lot of you are into health, fitness, or anything like that. I know I am. I mean, I'm not a gym rat or anything, and I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go to gym 7 days a week, which I know a lot of people, there's a lot of people that do that. Some people are so obsessed with working out and bulking up and doing this and doing that, that they have to put in 7 days. The reason why I won't do that, and I can't tell you not to do it, but I'll put it to you this way. The reason why I won't do 7 days is because I believe in giving the body rest, you know, especially if you do weights, if you're doing a lot of weights, you know, you want to give the body a chance to heal, because when you're doing weights, don't forget, even particularly if you're starting off, right? You're using muscles that you haven't used in a long time, or maybe using muscles for the first time. And I got to tell you, as an experienced weightlifter, I can tell you right now that when you do lift weights, you will hurt, especially if you're doing it for the first time. You will hurt, and you will hurt if you haven't used your muscles in a long time. If you stop doing it for a while, you will be hurt. You know, there'll be times when it'll hurt you to roll over in bed at night. But I go to the gym and I try to do that. I try to eat right. I know a lot of people do that. I work out. Me personally, I work out three days out of a week. That's enough for me. All right, that's enough for me. And I'll do weights, but I won't do like real heavy weights like I used to. But I will do weights. I will keep tone. I'll keep the muscles toned, and I want to get cut again, you know, because I just started back to the gym just the beginning of February. Just the beginning of February, I started back, because you remember the pandemic when it was off, it just totally shut everything down. And it took me a long time to get back to the gym. When I said I didn't want to go to the gym until I felt absolutely comfortable about being in the gym with other people and using the same equipment that they use. And so it's safe now. People are there. People are working out and doing their thing and getting back into shape. Now, me, it's like me being born again. You know, I have to do everything all over again. After 3 years of not working out, I had to go back into the gym and start working out. So like, February, is this June right now? So I would say this is the beginning of June. So it's now the beginning of June. So now it's 4 months. 4 months into my workout. That's not bad. All right. And I bring up this health thing because a lot of people talk about, you know, what to eat, what not to eat, what to drink. Your doctors tell you the same thing. They say, you don't eat this, you don't eat that, or you can eat it, but don't eat too much of that. This is no good. That's no good. Remember, they had situations about, they say coffee. Now, I'm a coffee lover. I love coffee. I love coffee. I loved it so much that when I first started drinking coffee, I think I was about 13 years old. That's no time. I don't think that's an age to start drinking coffee, but I did. All right. And I just started reaching middle school, I believe, or back in my day, it was junior high school. And I drank coffee. And then I loved coffee so much till I started drinking it. And then I got to the point where I started drinking like 5 cups of coffee a day. And then at the age of 13, at the same time, at the age of 13, I started taking up cigarettes. They say, I know you're just thinking, this guy, you're crazy. At that young age, what are you doing smoking at that young age? My mom would have killed me. Anyway, so I started smoking. And then by the time I reached 21, I was a chain smoker. And it was 5 cups of coffee today and a cigarette in the hand. And anyway, that's the past. That's the past. But I brought that up to say, you know, a lot of doctors, you ever go to your doctor and your doctor say, you know, don't stay off of certain things, you know. Now the doctor will tell you something that you don't want to hear. Doctor say, well, don't, you know, lay off the ice cream a little bit. You don't want to hear that, right? You want to eat all the ice cream you can, right? And your doctor will tell me, so, well, you know, it's not good for your heart if you do it a lot, you know. So you want to make sure that the heart is in good shape. You want to exercise well. You want to do this. I'm trying to figure out something, and maybe someone else can help me with this. And I mentioned all of this fitness thing, but I want to go back to the eating thing. Now, I remember the time when they told me, you know, coffee is no good. Coffee causes cancer, you know. And then they say again, coffee is it's okay to have a cup of coffee a day. It's okay. It's now okay. It causes cancer, but now it's okay. Okay. So now I'm confused about how much coffee to drink. All right. Lucky for me, I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day, you know, if that. Then just the other day I was reading. Now, some people suffer with sugar, you know, or pre-diabetes, and that's the biggest rage today. Especially after you get older, you know, you want to watch your sugar intake on how much you take. And a lot of people saying, you know, your sugar is too high. Maybe you should lay off the sweets a little bit. And when you lay off the sweets, you find out, you know, nothing has worked. You know, you're exercising, that's the same thing. And they say, and my doctor told me, well, maybe it's not that either. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's what you're eating other than sweets. Maybe it's how many vegetables are you taking, or what are you doing this and doing that? And I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe vegetables are supposed to be good for you, right? All right, sure. And the doctor says, well, you know, eat an apple, you know, eat things with fiber. Fiber is good for you. Eat things with fiber. So you eat things with fiber. You know, that's good. And that's good for the bowel movement, they say. And then I hear later on, that's not the case either. You eat nuts, you eat corn, you know, vegetables. A lot of great vegetables have fiber in it. You know, like I love broccoli. I love asparagus, which I eat a lot. I had a salad before I came to work tonight, which I had, you know, 3 days in a row. I had a salad along with something else with it, you know, but I had a plain salad today. And so hopefully by the time I get back to my cardiologist, he'll give me some good news. I mean, it's not bad news, but he'll say, oh, your numbers went down. And they say there are certain things you can do to get your numbers down. And they say my sister-in-law told me that, you know, if I have some cinnamon, you know, down some cinnamon a little bit every day, put it in your coffee or put it in your food or whatever, you know, or your dessert, your ice cream or whatever you're eating, put some cinnamon in it. And that brings down the numbers. She said it brought down her numbers. Now, the doctors don't tell you anything. You ever notice that the doctors don't tell you anything because they're still trying to sell the medications? They want to keep you on your medications, right? They don't tell you that. They don't tell you those things that you could do. So there's some people say, okay, well, the doctors say this, but I think I'm gonna go holistic. And a lot of people go holistic. So they eat everything that's organic. I don't knock that, but the way I see things is like, you don't really know what's going in your body, even though it says organic. You don't really know what's going into your body. You know, the Native Americans, when they were on the land here, they ate off the land. They lived off the land. You know, they lived naturally. You know, and in our era, in this day, and even in the past, they started killing animals and people eating red meat. Some people are not eating red meat anymore. They're putting that away. And I love red meat. I love a steak, a nice steak every once in a while, especially my favorite, the London broil. It's a little tough, but you got to cook it well. And I love that. My question is to you is, where do you go? What do you eat to stay nourished without starving to death? And you're dropping all of the things that you like. I would say, you know, listen to your doctor. I always listen to my doctor, but at the same time, I'm still proactive. I'm still proactive. I go online and I research things and I see, okay, this is good for you. You could do that. You could still eat what you eat. drink what you drink, but do everything in moderation. That's where I got to the point. Got to the point, says, okay, the doctor says this, the experts in food say, this is no good for you, that's no good for you. I just recently found out that eggs are the culprit of sugar in your diet. And then they say later on, oh no, eggs are good for you. They're good. They especially, but don't use the yolk. Eat the white of the egg. The white of the egg has great protein. That has it's good for your cholesterol. You can do that. But some people like to eat the whole egg. So I got to the point where, okay, everybody's telling me this is no good. This is no good. I got to the point where, something, I'm not gonna stop living. I'm gonna eat. I'm just gonna do everything in moderations. I just cut down on a couple of things, but I still go back to them every once in a while. I don't eat fried food that much, but every once in a while, I like to do that. I don't eat burgers that much, but every once in a while, I like to do that. So I got to the point where, to my doctors, I say to my doctors, okay, fine, all right. And if my doctor asks me, how's things going? How's your diet? And I always tell them, in moderation, because I don't want to stop eating the things that I like. And every once in a while, I like to bite on a Twizzler or something, right? I don't do it often, but I like to do it. So we'll see. The next time I go back to my cardiologist, hopefully my numbers will go down. So, because I am pre-diabetic and I want to keep that down. So I'm going to try all of the things that I'm supposed to do to keep things down and eat the right things, which I have been doing anyway. And if I can't get my numbers improved, then I'm not going to sweat too much. Just not going to sweat too much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to give you those movies of the week. All right, Turner Classic Movies. They have those movies, right? All right. I'm going to get started right away. Here's some of the movies that might pick up the week for your weekend. And in case you want to start watching some of these movies, adding to your bucket of lists of what to watch, well, here's some movies. Let's get started right away while we have time left. Strangers on a Train, which is a good movie. It goes back to 1951, starring Robert Walker and Farley Granger. That's on Turner Classic Movies. You can check it out this Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'll give you all the times Eastern, so you follow suit in case you're in the different time zone. Also, I have Born Yesterday, which is it's an okay movie. It's a nice comedy starring Broderick Crawford, William Holden, and Julie Holliday. It's a nice little movie, and it's funny. I like it. It's funny. That's also on Turner Classic Movies. However, this is on Sunday, and you can watch it at 12 p.m. Eastern, Sunday, 12 p.m. Eastern. That's called Born Yesterday, right there on Turner Classic Movies. And here's finally another one. I only have 3 this week. Here's the other one I have. Sex and the Single Girl, another great movie, 1964, starring Tony Curtis and Natalie Wood. You can catch that on Sunday evening at 3:45 p.m. So when you're through with church, everything's okay, and you can go back to doing whatever you're doing, okay? Now, you can go to Turner Classic Movies and check out more movies going through the program guide, because they may be movies that that maybe you can see that I didn't mention, only because these are my picks of the week, and you can go check those out. And whatever you don't catch in real time, you can always DVR them and check them out later, right, at your own very own time convenience. And there are a lot of documentaries, free movies, and of course pay-per-view and all of that. It's all right there for the asking. So one more time, let me give you these movies. That's Stranger on the Train with Robert Walker and Farley Granger, Turner Classic Movie. That's Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Born Yesterday, Broderick Crawford and William Holden, along with Judy Holliday. That's Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern. And Sex and the Single Girl, Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood. That's Sunday. And that's 3:45 p.m. on Turner Classic Movies. I hope you enjoy these movies. I hope you do. Those are my recommendations to you. And just act accordingly. I'm going to leave you now, but I will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern for more. Only that will be the coffee hour. And Brian Kemp will be here with sports and you and me, and we'll have a whole lot of fun. We'll talk shop and we'll talk all kinds of things, anything you want to talk about. Other than that, I'll be back here next Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern for more of Talk Back Live. You and me, Brian, of course, will be here with sports update, latest developments in today's world of sports. I love having you along, and I hope that you'll be with us tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and above all, a great good night. I'll see you soon. Take care.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stanky. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.